kind of love, a strange kind of feeling swims through your eyes. And like the doors to a wide, vast dominion, they open to your cries. This is no terror ground or place for the rage. No broken hearts, whitewashed lies. Just a taste for the truth, perfect taste, choice and meaning. A look into your eyes. Blind to the gemstone, alone, a smile from a frown circles round. Should he stay or should he go? Let him shout a rage so strong, a rage that knows no right or wrong, and take a little piece of you. There is no middle ground, or that's how it seems, for us to walk or to take. Instead we tumble down, either side, left or right, to love or to hate.
Okay, let's stop that. Whoa, I'm struggling. Well, I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is I'm going to do a raffle. The bad news, I don't know where NPC is. He's not here and he's not ready to talk about this. But I'll give you guys a little bit of information about what we're going to be talking about. And Brenda K hopes that the title's wrong. The title is right. This is a 50-year plan at least that has been going on, and we have some pretty good evidence to show that. There's Peter Murphy. He was just singing to you. When he comes on, we will be talking about this website called Strategic Intelligence and this huge web of data they have been gathering for quite some time. This is pretty insane. And a lot for my brain, and I've been watching a video on it, which they have their own videos, but they're really showing their true colors in this. They have shown that they have welcomed this. I'm sorry, welcomed. Of course they've welcomed it, but they've shown that this is just what do you call it? A planned event that's not real. It's with crisis actors, and you can go through here and click how they've been logging data for 50 years on this exact quote unquote virus that was going to be brought out, and it was going to be a coronavirus, and 201 is just part of it. And I do have some information on this Rockefeller Foundation deal that if you go to page 8, it talks about the lockstep formation of what's going on, what we see right now, that even the pushback is expected. So anyway, I want to talk about this more. If NPC ever hops in while I'm doing this, and great. If not, we're just going to have to go on again a different night. And it happens. Sometimes people are forgetful. They just don't remember. But I'm going to pull this up, this lockstep deal. This is from the Rockefeller group, mind you. The Rockefeller, let's see. The Rockefeller scenarios on technology and development. And the lockstep talks about a world of tighter top-down government control and more authoritarian leadership with limited innovation and growing citizen pushback. So they expect the citizen pushed back. That is something that they, it kind of makes me sad. They weren't surprised that was going to happen. So here's the lockstep right here. The tighter top-down government control, more authoritarian, wow, I can't talk, guys. Authoritarian leadership with limited innovation and growing citizen pushback. And in the 2012 pandemic that the world had been anticipating for years, in 2012 they're saying the world pandemic that everybody had been anticipating finally hit. Well, it didn't, but it did this time. Unlike 2000, H1N1, the new influenza strain originating from wild geese was extremely virulent and deadly. Even the most pandemic-prepared nations were quickly overwhelmed when this is a scenario, right? When this virus streaked around the world, infecting nearly 20% of the global population and killing 8 million in just 7 months. The majority of them healthy young adults. The pandemic also had a deadly effect on economies, of course. International mobility of both people and goods screeched to a halt, debilitating industries like tourism and breaking global supply chains. Even locally, normally bustling shops and office buildings sat empty for months, devoid of both employees and customers. The pandemic blanketed the planet, though disproportionate numbers died in Africa, Southeast Asia, and Central America, where the virus spread like wildfire in the absence of official containment protocols. But even in developed countries, containment was a challenge. United States' initial policy of strongly discouraging citizens from flying proved deadly in its leniency, accelerating the spread of virus, not just within the U.S., but across its borders. They were hoping this would spread with our lockdown. However, a few countries did fare better. China, of course, China fared better. The Chinese government, quick imposition and enforcement of mandatory quarantine. I guess we're just saying all they did was stop us from flying. They didn't quarantine us. So, in this scenario. But because China chose to force mandatory quarantine, as well as its instant and near hermetic sealing off of all borders, saved millions of lives, stopping the spread of the virus far earlier than in other countries and enabling swifter post-pandemic recovery. And it goes on. Don't know if you want me to read this all, but it's going to talk about during the pandemic, all the stuff that happened, the restrictions, controlled, gained wide acceptance and approval. At first, the notion became more controlled. Citizens willingly gave up some of their sovereignty and their privacy to more paternalistic states in exchange for greater safety and stability. Citizens were more tolerant and even eager for top-down direction and oversight, and national leaders had more latitude to impose order in the ways they saw fit. In developed countries, this heightened oversight took many forms. Biometric IDs for all citizens, for example, and tighter regulation of key industries whose stability, hold on, I gotta move over, it's really small, was deemed vital to national interests. In many developed countries, enforced cooperation with a suite of new regulations and agreements slowly but steadily restored both order and, importantly, economic growth. My question is Trump in on this? I don't know. But yes, they do want it to be like Chinese tyranny. Across the developing world, however, the story was different, much more variable. Top-down authority took different forms in different countries, hinging largely on the capacity, caliber, and intentions of their leaders. In countries with strong and thoughtful leaders, citizens' overall economic status and quality of life increased. In India, the air quality drastically improved when the government outlawed high-emitting vehicles, blah, blah, blah. Let's keep going. There were other downsides as the rise of virulent nationalism created new hazards. Spectators at the some 2018 World Cup, for example. Oh gosh, I can't. This is so hard to do. I'm having trouble. This is not the best. There was something about where they expected us to push back, and I'm having a hard time finding it. But the pushback, I think it was part of one of these titles, that they expected us to have pushback. They were looking at that as being part of the agenda. Anyway, I'm going to wait until I can go over it with NPC more, because he had been allegedly putting this information together to present to you guys in a much better way than I'm doing right now. And yeah, Sweden didn't lock down, doing just fine. And so, but I'm really excited to welcome Mr. Eric Sterling to he's going by Chase on, I better call him Chase, I guess, on the YouTube. But he is part of our business now of gold and silver, because he gets it, he understands the value of it, and he wants to make money like we all are I'm doing, and some of you are trying to do. So I'm going to raffle this full ounce flag bar and this half ounce candy well, it's not a half ounce. I actually figured this out. It's a little less than a half ounce. It's a $50 though, 90% silver, and it is a Kennedy Liberty 1964 coin. So it's certainly worth the 90% silver, and it's a coin. So people will trust it when our dollar goes to zero and we have to buy eggs and milk. So here we go. And by the way, Jared won the last one. I'm probably buffering like crazy. I can see that I'm in the red, but Jared won the last one and it skipped. No one heard that. But it was Jared who won the Hulk. So anyway, good luck to you guys. Here we go. Woo! Generating number 10. Yay! That's Mr. John Anon. John Anon, I probably have mailed to you before, but I can't recall. So humor me and send me another email with your mailing address, and I will get that out to you. And for everyone else, I apologize, but again, not really my fault. So I will find out what's going on with NPC, and we'll come back and do this in a little better fashion and a little bit more streamlined, right, than I just did, because that wasn't so totally streamlined. Okay, peace and love of the Lord, guys. You have a blessed night. Good night.
Can you hear creation groan? Big academies move wherever Satan roams, with powers and principalities, ancient bones. But generations have been saved since the Savior rose. Past, present and future the Creator knows. When Yeshua the Messiah will come with fatal blows in the sea of life, wearing naval clothes, with other sailors in a hurricane, praying he will save our souls. Gale Force 9, I'm feeling naked and cold, but I believe in what the sacred has shown. Take me home. Whale corpses line the beaches, and creatures are all dying for no reason. Evil's taken a hold. People are raving, misbehaving, crystal gazing, pistol waving. Misfits that need saving. The earth shakes, earthquakes and tsunamis. Paranoia grips the nation. Use the army, emergency procedures. Please move calmly. Fallen angels playing with harpy Illuminati. I'll terrorize the track, worse than a Somalian. Searching for gold bars, working with Mugabe. Our memory and burst like a Nubian before I crack finals for the final finale. A child of rap, I'll be back just like Arnie, setting fire to wax on the back of a fat Harley, with flames coming out the sports exhaust, and I'm forced to report to you all we blew up the party.
From the cracks, form tracks on the earth and its crust. Trumpet blast, bring the last days. Who do you trust? Feel the birth pains much? The adrenaline rush, signaling signs of the horsemen scattering dust. The hush before the storm when it all combusts. A nuclear generation lies are crushed, following signs of the times, connecting the dots, watching the clocks and the hourglass, stomach and knots. So many lost in confusion, casting a lot. Go on appear apocalyptic or leave you in shock. Account fits and delusions are taking the spot of the truth. These illusions have gotta be stopped. You might get lost in the dark. These are stumbling blocks. Concocted double talk. That's why we're solid as rocks.
From the mountains of Babylon, hold the vagabond, riding with a saddle on the black horse. Scriptures upon the cannon, all trampling on Lucifer's coats and black magic. Be savage with it, nomadic and drastic, and asterisk by my name. A splinter of shame to the Lord Jesus, barely breathing the sinner of flesh, son of a heathen, believing in nothing but death and the coldness of a last breath, hiding all the pain in my chest until I last rest. Standing with it, loving the sin that's next to it, affectionate, infecting your whole section, kid. Generate a low life worth nothing, a pauper with nothing to offer. The blood of Christ drips on the altar, softening the ground of the earth, predicted since the birth, and breaking the curse. The whole world's feeling the hurt. The time is coming when the cowards start running and the rebel army starts gunning. It's all or nothing, the Lord is coming.
Jesus said, you didn't get this from a teacher. Flesh and blood did not reveal this to you, but my Father which is in heaven.